we go.
Okay, we are here. Okay, everybody,
Okay.
welcome to Oxford Day Online 2020. Barbara and I are really very glad that you're here with us today, and we look forward to talking about making learning English fun. Now, from 1992 until now, many of the things that we started doing intuitively have turned out to be supported by research. And as teachers and as teacher trainers, we have come a long way, and so we have also improved our syllabus for the Let's Go series. As you may be aware, we lost our co-author, Ritsuko Nakata, in September. So today is the first time we've done a workshop without her. As a result, what we want to do is to introduce ways that Let's Go helps students have fun learning, and also share some of our favorite teaching techniques, as well as some of the ideas that originated with Ritsuko and are so much a part of what Let's Go is today.
Okay, now we have always been 6 levels, and now we are 8. So we have, I don't know why my webcam just turned off there. All right. So I don't know what I clicked. But we have 8 levels now, so that there are 2 kindergarten levels for us to help develop phonemic awareness and oral language foundation before we have to teach students how to read and before we start phonics.
Let's begin. One of our kindergarten levels first introduces the alphabet through song. Then the English letter sounds are introduced in a way that builds on the frequency of the letters. Vowels are taught first because vowels occur in every English word, and they also are what provides the memorable sounds and the music to the English language. Now, in this next slide, you are going to see our co-author, Ritsuko, as she does the gestures for the vowels. Now, you will notice that each of the gestures mimics the way the mouth moves when making the sounds. So in this first picture you see, that is the letter sound A.
Ah.
And this is E. You can repeat with Barbara. And this is I. And this is Ah. Ah. And this is, Ah.
Ah. Ah.
These gestures were so much fun for Ritsuko to do when she was presenting to teachers in all of her seminars, in part because she got all the teachers doing it together with her, and it was really a fun time in her presentation as she did these gestures. You can take a look at Ritsuko actually doing these gestures online. Looking at that link that's at the bottom of the slide, that will take you to a YouTube video of Ritsuko in action, sharing her gestures. Okay, Barb.
And that'll be on the PDF that you get after this presentation, so you can go directly there. Okay, so now you're looking at the way that we teach the alphabet in Let's Begin 1. And this organization of the letters, it comes from Ritsuko's Model Action Talk, or MAT method. And the idea was to use what students already know to teach them something new. So the vowels, we have gestures. Then if you look at the consonant families, we have sound groups. So here if you say the sound of the letters, or the name of the letters, C, G, B, D, P, T, V, and Z, they all have one thing in common. What's the one thing they have in common, Karen?
It's the E sound.
Yeah, so we can use sound subtraction to teach them how to go from the letter name to the letter sound. So B minus E is B, and D minus E is duh. Sorry. And so we can do the same thing for the family. So M minus is M, and J minus A is J. That leaves students with just 5 letters that they have to memorize the songs or the sounds for. So it's a much lower cognitive load, and it's much easier for them to remember, and it's an easy way for teachers to correct or give additional support if students forget. And really importantly, it uses what students already know to teach them something new. The idea of using what students already know is all through Let's Go. We want to celebrate what students come to class knowing and use it to show them how they can learn new things. So here, Ritsuko always taught us that there are 3 steps to teaching any new language. And I want to show you what those 3 steps are using this lesson from Let's Begin 2. So here we have 4 vocabulary words, so very, very simple, with gestures. We have a sentence, the I can touch my eyes, that is familiar because it was taught in the previous lesson. And then the new thing here is going to be the question. So we start, step 1 is introducing the vocabulary. So I would do the student cards can be downloaded from the Teacher Resource Center. So we use gesture, so eyes.
Eyes.
If you want to do it along with Karen, feel free. Mouth.
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 So you want to do your correction when you're first introducing language so that students get it right the first time. So you don't have to go back and teach it over and over again. And then as soon as students can produce the language on their own,
ears.
The teacher stops talking.
Ears. Nose.
Okay. Okay. So next, we recycle the vocabulary, step 2, in the sentence. So I can touch my
eyes. I can touch my eyes. Now
this is review. Okay. This is review, so Karen can probably do this without me saying anything.
I can touch my mouth. I can touch my ears. I can touch my nose.
Okay, so we recycle the vocabulary twice now. And then finally, we're going to use that sentence to introduce the question and answer. So what can you do?
I can touch my eyes.
What can you do?
I can touch my mouth.
What can you do?
I can touch my ears.
What can you do?
I can touch my nose.
Okay, what did I say?
What can you do?
Right?
What can you do?
What can you do? What can you do?
What can you do?
We're going to try it 3 times. What can you do? What can you do? What can you do?
What can you do? What can you do? What can you do?
Okay, so we want to do a lot of repetition at a natural speed, natural intonation, natural rhythm, so students can use the question and answer comfortably. You'll notice that even in step 3 here, we don't use the question and the answer together. We always teach them separate so that we reinforce the idea that English is communication. And so then students would ask me, so Karen, can you be my student?
Yes. What can you do?
I can touch my eyes.
What can you do?
I can touch my ears.
What can you do?
I can touch my nose.
What can you do?
I can touch my mouth. Okay, so catch up here with my. So here we have a short video of Ritsuko demonstrating one of our favorite techniques. So like I mentioned, we need to have a lot of repetition for students to gain fluency. And we want the repetition to be very fast-paced so students don't get bored, so they keep a natural rhythm, and so that they can say it automatically. They develop automacy by repeating a lot. Okay, so can we play video 1?
Okay? Okay? Ready, go! What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? Finish! Okay. One more time. Ready, go! What do you like? What do you like? What do you like? Finish! Very good. Now say it 3 times. Clap 3 times. you think your kids will learn it now? Okay.
Thank you. Now, if you want to see that also, the idea is that if you can add game-like, if you can add a game-like atmosphere to your drills, then it doesn't feel like hard practice. So again, there's a link to that on YouTube if you want to see it again, and it'll be in our PDF.
And the kids really have fun doing that.
Oh gosh, yes, they do. The race to be the first one to finish and raise your hand. Actually, teachers have a lot of fun doing that too in workshops.
Yes, they do.
Okay, so now, one final teaching technique here. And this is one of those things that Ritsuko is brilliant for. It's so simple. When you see it, it's so obvious. And yet, I didn't ever think of it until I worked with Ritsuko. Yeah. So here, when you're teaching yes-no questions and answers, again, we want to separate question and answer. We want to teach all of the yes answers first, and then all of the no answers. But it's really difficult to get students to practice no answers because they want to answer honestly. So when you're teaching for no answers, you turn the cards upside down. Can you touch your eyes, Karen?
No, I can't.
Okay, so it doesn't matter if Karen can really touch her eyes or not, right? The fact that the card is upside down means she knows it has to be a no answer. So then you mix the cards to make sure students understand the difference. Can you touch your ears?
Yes, I can.
Can you touch your nose?
No, I can't.
Can you touch your mouth?
Yes, I can.
So this is one of those techniques that just makes life so much easier. And you can download all of the cards from the Teachers Resource Center now, so you can create student sets and you can use them online more easily. Okay, over to you, Karen.
Okay, well, once the students have learned this question pattern, it's very easy to recycle it with all the new verbs that they start learning. Remember, we introduce one new thing at a time, and we recycle the language they already have. So, for example, in Let's Begin, we've got these verbs. I can run, I can skip, I can walk, I can jump, and then they can use the question, can you jump? Can you skip? Likewise, I can swim. Can you swim? Can you dance? And we can move on into our lower levels of Let's Go, where we have listen and do activities with verbs. Yes, we have lots of verbs in Let's Go, and this was something that Ritsuko really wanted to make sure that we included, were lots of verbs. So, can you jump rope? Can you catch a ball? When we get to the upper levels, now the verb phrases are the unit vocabulary. And so you can use that question again. Can you play the piano? Can you play hopscotch? Can you do a somersault? And again, if you want to elicit the no response, you turn the picture card upside down. Now, moving on to recycling with new verbs, we also have something extra in this 5th edition of Let's Go. We like to give teachers room to expand their lessons, and the 5th edition of Let's Go includes many worksheets in the Teachers Resource Center that you can edit. And these line art drawings come from those worksheets in the Teachers Resource Center. So what you're able to do then is to tailor your lesson to the activities that your students do. You can create workshops that will actually engage your students because it will be activities that they do. And I think one of the main things that is important to know with Let's Go, it has always been designed to be flexible to suit the situation that you find yourself teaching in. Whether you're in a small class, whether you're in a large class, whether you're tutoring 1 or 2 children, you can tailor it to those classes. And now what's most important is when we're all teaching online, you are able to tailor things online because you can download the material and share that with your students from the Teachers Resource Center. Now, we also need to remember that one of the most important features that is built into Let's Go is communication. It is an idea that Ritsuko really believed in, and Barbara and I feel very much the same way. We need to give our students a chance to communicate with each other, not just with us, and not just answering the teacher's questions. So the Ask Your Partner activities are designed for two students to ask each other questions and give the answers. And the songs, almost every song in Let's Go is designed with a question and an answer. So there's communication built into the songs.
Okay, so Karen mentioned that Let's Go tries to incorporate what we like to call a space to learn, enough repetition built into the lessons for students to remember and be able to use the language. And we also try to include what we call a space to teach, where we allow enough resources for teachers to be able to adapt the lessons to their own needs. And one of the things we always want to try to do is to make sure our students have meaningful practice. We want them to see that English serves a purpose. So it can be as simple as incorporating guessing games in class, having them guess what's in a bag or in an envelope or in a box. You know, like this box. I have a box. See my box? Little teeny box. Can you guess what's in my box? I'll give you 20 questions. Only 20. So if you type them into the chat, Karen will ask me some of them. She'll be paying attention to the chat. What's in the box?
I'm looking. Is it a ring?
Those aren't questions. Is it a ring? No. That's a waste of a question, too. Because you want to find out what's in it. Nope, it's not an eraser. And that's two questions that didn't really help you get any closer, did it? So make your questions better. For example, Karen, can you ask me a good question?
Is it soft?
Is it soft? And that's a really good question, right? So that's a really good question. It's not soft.
Is it round?
It's not round.
Is it light?
No, it's not light.
Is it hard?
Yes, it's hard.
Ooh.
So it's rough, it's hard, and it's not light. It's not round.
Edible?
No, it's not edible.
It's rough, it's hard, and is it heavy?
Yes, Tracy has a good guess there.
I see. Oh, is it a stone? Is it a rock?
Yes, actually Tracy said stone and the other said rock. It is. It's a little rock and you can't really see, but I actually bought this rock at a volcano because it has lots of rainbow colors in it. So
pretty.
Yes, it's a rock. Now, if I do this in class and my students waste their questions and they don't guess what's in the box, I put the box away until the next time we meet.
Really?
If I'm doing it online, I do the same thing because I really want them, I want them to learn how to ask good questions. So again, it makes it meaningful. It's great question practice, but they don't feel like they're not doing a drill, right? So.
Great idea, Barb. And
it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. And that's the whole premise behind Let's Go. Some things never change. From the first edition until now, we have always aimed to make it a fun learning experience in whatever we do in Let's Go and to bring in communication from the beginning. So, and we build language step by step. We let them learn one new thing at a time, and we recycle things that they have learned before. So it makes it easier for them to learn. We also make it easy for the teachers to adapt their lessons to their classroom situation. We leave the lessons open enough so that the teachers are able to tailor them to the needs of their class. Now, if you look at this particular dialogue, how's the weather? It's sunny. It's a very simple question and answer. So how would you expand that dialogue so you can encourage your students to speak more? What would you do? What language would you include? You may not know exactly what to add, but we do, because the same three authors worked on Let's Go for all levels. So I want to move us ahead to this next screen. We are going to play a video for you that is part of what's new in this 5th edition. All of the levels of Let's Go have extended conversations. If you see the script that is here on the page and you look closely, oops, I guess our yellow mark is not here. But you can see
in the upload, yeah.
Embedded in this is how's the weather? It's sunny. But look at all the language that is in this dialogue. It is all recycled language, all review that the children know. And this is in level 1, so they've already learned this language prior to this lesson. Now, one of the good things too is that the scripts are available for all the expanded dialogues for all the levels of Let's Go, and it really comes in handy in levels 5 and 6. So now can we go ahead and play this video?
Hello? Jenny?
Yes? Oh, hi, Kate. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great, too. It's so nice today.
How's the weather?
It's sunny. Uh-oh.
What's that?
Oh, no. It's rainy now. How's the weather today?
Now notice in this dialogue, the characters were talking to each other, but they also turned and asked questions to the students watching the video. All of these expanded dialogues and videos do that. So the students actually are interacting with the videos. And as I said earlier, these videos are available for the Let's Talk in all of the levels of Let's Go. And they are available in our online play, so students can listen to them at home and practice some more. All right, Barb, over to you.
Okay. So I think we lost our video there. But if you want to see the video, you can go to the online play site for Let's Go, and all of the videos are available free. You don't even have to have an account. You can just click and watch. So luckily, we don't have to share many more videos here. Okay. Now, let's go back and thank you for putting the link and so on. Let's go back and take a look. This is the digital version of the student book. Now, in the 5th edition, the teacher's pack includes a code for the digital student book and the digital workbook. And the digital student book has all of the audio and the video sort of embedded on the page. So here, we would go ahead and teach the lesson with gestures, as we usually do. And here I might use the gestures in, on, under, and by, right? So then I would use those gestures, just like we did for the eyes and the ears, to teach the vocabulary, to practice the question and answer, and during the song, singing the song. But also, with the singing the song, it doesn't have to be the third activity. You notice here that it's just click and play. It pops up, and you can play it from the book. You can also play it from the Teacher's Resource Center, and you can also play it from the online play site. So the video is very easy access, which means you can use the song anytime. It doesn't have to be the third activity on this page. So if you come in, you want to teach the vocabulary and then practice it as a comprehension activity where students do the gestures as they hear the song, they hear the prepositions in the song, you can do that. If the class is getting really tired and you need to perk them up, you can play the song. At the end of class, when you're getting ready to send students off, you can play the song. And when they come back the next time and you want to warm up, you can play the song. So again, that's the space to teach we talked about. That gives a lot of flexibility. So one more thing that's new in the 5th edition is something that was added because teachers asked. They wanted more assessment. They wanted a chance to see how students, if they understood what they'd learned right after learning it. So at the end of the lesson, there is an icon you can click, and you come back to a can-do activity to check what they got. So if you're doing it together, then you would get a pop-up that gives the option. So where are the bugs? There, in, on, under, or by the flowers. So what's the answer?
On.
In, on, under, or by. What do you think?
On.
On, yay, okay. So then what I could do after I got my students, now I could take a poll in class if I were using a platform that used poll and I were teaching this online. I could have students use a thumbs up, thumbs down to guess the answer before I put it in. And then I could check the answer by either showing how many are correct, how many are incorrect, or by showing the correct answer. And then I can delete all the answers so that I can go back and try this again and again and again, as many times as my students need to come back to this. So we've mentioned the teacher's pack a few times now. And now this is new in the 5th edition. 4th edition, you had a teacher's book, my teacher's guide. 5th edition includes the teacher's book. But it also includes a code to give you the digital student book and the digital workbook with all of the enhanced goodies that I was just showing you. It also includes a code to get you access to the Teacher's Resource Center, which includes the student cards that you can download. It includes lots and lots of testing and worksheets and the extra art that Karen showed you earlier to review the verbs. It also includes professional development videos and readings, and one of the final things it includes is the online practice administrative site. So students get the code in the workbook for online practice. Teachers get the code to create a class and see how students are doing.
Okay. Our time is running short, and I wanted to make sure to let you know that the students are able to access all kinds of materials for free. No code is required, no payment is required, no account. And things like games extend the contact time with English. As Ollie said, what you want to do is, especially now when we're doing so much online, is give the students and the parents things that they can do that relate to the lesson and will extend the contact time with English outside of class. So this is available on our online play. And also on our online play, you can see the videos of the extended conversations, many games, and there is a picture dictionary and many downloadable items, including pages to color and student cards and things to practice. The class audio and everything is available for download from this free online play site.
Okay, so when we get to teaching reading, we also want to use what students already know to help them learn something new. So here we are going to use all of the oral language that they developed to teach them how to read. We use words that are familiar because that is what students in the first language do when they're reading. Students who speak English as a first language probably know 3,000 words when we start phonics. So we want to use that same approach with foreign language. So students already know these words. Then we give them practice sounding out the words. Now if you're teaching in a face-to-face class, you can have students manipulate letter cards, but if they're at home and you're online, you can also have them use their own letter cards at home. So for example, if I say at, what word is that?
Pat. Pat.
Let's see. Yep, pat. Okay, let's try one more. If I say tap.
Tap.
Right. Okay, so tap, and we could use a gesture for it too. Then we reinforce it with rhythm and movement in a chant. And finally, we use only familiar language in focusing on a new skill, which is reading. So we don't want students to have to do more steps to learn to read in a foreign language than they have to do in order to learn to read in their first language. New in the 5th edition is readings in the workbook. We want to help students develop reading independence. So we are including new stories that have no new language and reinforces the phonics from the lesson so they can read them at home and get additional practice. You can also use the reading in the book as a model for writing. So you can either give students a lot of support or no support, but you can let them use the story as a writing model.
Students also can use English to learn new things, especially when they're getting into the upper levels. They have plenty of language to learn new things. This is a reading from level 6, and you notice that on the second page there we have a bunch of vocabulary exercises to help the students remember the vocabulary they already know. We also include a new word box to help them with some of the new vocabulary. Now, one of the things you can do to extend this reading is to do something that's called true or not true. So what do you think? Is it true or not true that a zebra's stripes are like fingerprints? Well, let's...
I don't think that's true.
Well, look at this here. It says it's true.
It's true.
Yes. Now notice what we've done. This is a pre-reading prediction activity. And if we were in class, we would turn the book upside down, ask the question, have you guess, and then flip the book back up and look to see what the answer is. Another one is a box jellyfish has 12 eyes. Is that true or not true?
That's impossible. I mean, like 2 eyes. For real,
let's check. It has 24 eyes. Yes.
No way.
Such a surprise. I know. What about this last one? A hummingbird can fly backwards. Is that true or is it not true?
I'm going to say true because I've been wrong twice so far.
You are right. It is true. They can fly backwards. So this is a fun activity to do.
Yay, I got one
and
right.
You can also use it as a comprehension activity after you have done the reading. Now, one of the things that we've tried to do in our 5th edition is include lots of new readings in the workbook. But all the readings have language the students understand and have learned. Nothing is new. And so we have on the page a box with the review words, and we have an area where we are helping them remember more about the vocabulary. And then we have this third area where we have them writing and personalizing. And their writing is based on the patterns that they've seen in the reading. And it is all recycled review language. Nothing is new on the page. So it's easy for the students to do it at home.
Okay, so remember, talked about that extra art that you can get in the Teachers Resource Center. So you can use the reading as a model for writing. And if your students are online, they can research fun facts about other animals and write their own quizzes. So for example, here's a few. I like to sleep in trees, but I can't fly. Who am I?
I think it's a leopard.
You're better at guessing than I am. Yes, you're right. That's a leopard. Okay, let's try one more.
I
I can run as fast as a racehorse. I can drink 40 liters of water. Who am
A
I?
fox?
40 liters, really? A camel. Hey, the chat got it right. Okay, last one. My eyes are the same size as people's eyes, but they are 8 times stronger. Who am I?
An eagle.
Good guess. Okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Now, doing this, this is that whole space to learn and space to teach. We want to help students build digital literacy skills. We want to help them develop online search skills. And we want them to learn how to ask for the language that they need.
So the same author team has worked together on Let's Go from the very first edition. You see the 4 of us pictured there. Yes, not only is it Ritsuko and Barbara and I, but Carolyn Graham. She has written all the songs for all levels of Let's Go for all 5 editions. So it's been fun working together as a team of 4. And as we continue to learn more about how children learn, we will continue to improve the way we teach and also write. So the key to teaching success includes use movement to help the students remember.
Focus on accuracy when you introduce new language.
Use short, fast-paced drills to build fluency.
Use familiar language to help build new skills.
Teach one new thing at a time.
Personalize language and let students take the lead.
Use songs and chants whenever your class needs a change of pace.
And most importantly, have fun.
Yes.
If you're having a good time, your students will too. So, thank you very much. That's all that we had to cover.